First off, we're going to start the afternoon session with a keynote from Peter Griffiths. Peter Griffiths from CA Technology. Peter is the Executive Vice President and Group Executive at CA Technologies. CA is moving in a big way into the Silicon Valley. Peter has a very long career background. Prior to that, he manages products and solutions at CA. Prior to that, he was at IBM. So without going into the entire resume, Peter.
Great to be here. Actually, lucky I'm here. When they heard I was talking about mobility, I was walking past the 24/7 dance activity, and they asked me to come in and talk about mobility. When they realized I was not an internationally acclaimed dance instructor, they sent me packing back to you guys. It is great to be here for a whole bunch of reasons. Firstly, my first time at TiEcon. Tremendous atmosphere, great bunch of people and new connections, and that's really what it's about. As we said in CA, we're expanding heavily our presence in the Valley, and one of the questions we ask all the time, and our customers ask, is how do we move to a greater level of connectivity? And the other question that people ask me on the way in is, okay, so CA, big enterprise IT management software security company, $4.7 billion. What are you doing in mobility? You know, the simple answer to that is almost every transition that's being driven in enterprise IT groups around the globe is more often than not driven in some way by a need to enable mobile. Mobility for customers, employees are driving change, in fact, quite unprecedented amounts of change back through IT systems, through IT processes, and through the expectations that IT groups have, full stop. So what I'd love to do just for 15, 20 minutes this afternoon is to walk you through some of the perspectives from big enterprise IT around mobile. So a big investment in mobile, but it really is the face and the front end that's driving innovation in the way IT thinks about business services and the way they're delivered to the enterprise, to the customer. I'm not sure if the clicker's working. Can we just advance to the next chart, please? There we go. And innovation around business services and mobile is, as you know, transforming at a phenomenal rate. 70% of new IT patents that have been filed this last year are related in some way to mobile. It's not just the devices we carry in our pockets. It's devices, physical infrastructure, mobile infrastructure that is being transformed or instrumented in some way with mobile systems. Next chart, please. If we click through, seeing as the clicker's working. You know, the devices we carry today are the beginning. BYOD in the workplace, which is well underway, is going to represent probably what is the most significant economic transition in client computing since PCs invaded the workplace. And yes, we are, of course, back to client computing. But the real transition is beyond the mobile device to APIs and the need to secure and offer APIs to almost any piece of information, data, or infrastructure. So a number of very, very significant drivers for innovation in IT. Next chart, please. CIOs. Now, you know, it's funny, when you're in the Valley, the big company CIOs, of which there are many here, are not so prevalent, though, as the innovation leaders of companies. But CIOs around the globe are either changing rapidly in terms of their roles in their organizations, or they are about to be changed in terms of the end or a different career over the next few years. The role of the modern CIO is no longer to build the empire, it is to orchestrate services. And when you talk to a CIO who's staring at mobile enabling access, be it an insurance company or a bank, the enablement of mobile, the leverage of cloud in that process is almost the simple part. It's figuring out how the rest of their supply chain can feed that, how they can bring together services from within their organizations and outside their organizations, not only once, but in a way that can move efficiently with the mobile device as that experience improves. So, dramatic change, of which mobility is the primary business driver in many ways for these changes that go on within enterprise organizations, driving adoption of cloud, driving adoption of new models of bringing development and operations together within the corporation. Next chart. People. And this is, when we talk about the way a CIO is thinking about their business, the last sort of 10 years have been about this process and efficiency revolution, which is now table stakes. This decade and the next decade are about bringing connectivity and IT onto the front line of almost every business interaction, whether it's with an employee, a customer, a partner. In fact, that's pretty well the case today for most modern enterprises. That drives a whole series of expectations. Expectations around user experience that have never previously been satisfied by enterprise applications. Expectations around change. As we download mobile applications, our attention spans are becoming shorter and shorter to the usefulness and lifespan of those applications. Most CIOs are looking to develop specific applications for their businesses in the range of 20 to 30 applications over the next couple of years. That's not a one-time event. So mobility and the way it's exposing businesses to new audiences and ever-expanding audiences is driving change back through cycles such as service assurance, ensuring that the performance and experience a user gets on a mobile device is consistent and high performant every single time. And then what happens if it's not? Being able to figure out how to link back from that device through public networks, through the dependency often on multiple clouds, through the dependency on internal systems, and often still in many large enterprises, mainframes. Over 1 million mobile-initiated financial transactions every day processed by mainframes. So that mobile front end, the consumerization of IT and the expectations it's driving are having distinct ramifications in service assurance, assuring that performance and service availability at the endpoint, and all the way back through understanding and tracing where an issue may be. And of course, that's no longer an issue in many cases that CIO owns. So it's a matter of establishing service level agreements and figuring out how to work with cloud providers, external network providers to resolve challenges. Next chart, please. The workforce. So the expectations in enabling a workforce are still also at their infancy. Over the next couple of years, 2/3 of enterprise workforce will be mobile as their primary device. That may seem slow to folk in the valley here, but on a worldwide basis, that's the number. 2/3 of that workforce now looking for an experience that is native and natural to them. And the ability of corporations to roll that out, do it securely, not only secure the devices, but secure the application, and probably most importantly, the content that's delivered to those devices, without interfering with the user experience. Another big enterprise IT transition being driven by mobility. Next chart. But I think of all of the transitions that mobility is driving, the need for security is probably the most significant. As we look to move beyond the device in almost every industry, I was just in the UK a couple of days ago where they were very excited to announce that they've now legalized the pilot schemes for autopilot cars. I know that's something we've had in California for a while and other parts of the world, but this is going to spread. I was at a television satellite company rolling out network infrastructure, great big pylons for equipment and satellite receiving capability. All of those pylons are now instrumented and protected using mobile technology. So the need to be able to assure identity and to manage the security of this vast array of mobile devices, many of which are going to become mission critical, life critical in different parts and different industries, is foundational. And again, it's another area that we're investing with our large enterprise clients in government, military, and commercial space to use strong identity as the primary key to security, but to build that into mobile devices in a way that is really, really, really powerful and strong. So, user experience, the need to assure mobile-driven systems, the need to manage systems and secure content, and ultimately the need to secure access to those mobile systems, going to be dramatic challenges that will escalate and become very, very core to the deployment of successful mobile-driven innovation. Next chart. This lands in enterprise IT. The folk who are really pulling this together, be it new intelligence from mobile devices, securing mobile devices, delivering content to those devices, are the IT groups in enterprises and businesses, governments, that are going to help, that are going to be the winners over the next few years. So when we think about the effect that mobile is having on enterprise IT, it's turning it inside out. It really is putting IT on the front line of your business, and it's driving these dramatic shifts in supply chain. Now, the other shift in supply chain is the development supply chain. As we said, our expectation of a mobile experience is not that it is delivered once and stays the same forever. In fact, if it doesn't become more useful over a period of a month, a quarter, and continue to become more powerful, we'll often go look for something else, or it will be superseded. And so that's driving this whole change in the way these applications are delivered. And investing in new ways of testing, new ways of simulating systems is going to become very, very important for these enterprises and organizations that can accelerate the deployment of real enterprise mobile apps. Why? Because when you start to accelerate delivery cycles, testing gets in the way. The traditional models of enterprise testing where you take months to assemble great big systems become almost impractical to use. Way to break that down is to use smart technology to understand all the interfaces, be able to listen on the network, and create virtual environments that absolutely mirror the reality. Not only the reality of the systems the mobile devices are talking to, but of course can start to mirror things like network constraints, network jitter, which all affect the interactions between applications that are driven from the mobile experience. So dramatic change in the way IT is moving and interacting relative to mobile. Next chart. It's every industry. And just as you think about the types of applications that are being driven by this new experience, it's clear in banking, but it's just the beginning. And a lot of the work we're doing right now is in terms of enabling and highly secure mobile wallets. What will the experience of a mobile wallet be a few years from now? It'll be most likely the integration of customer loyalty, ability to pay, relationship with a particular organization or set of organizations. And it will rely on very, very strong identity, almost certainly linked to your mobile device. Healthcare, potential to change cost of inpatient healthcare for routine monitoring by orders of magnitude, whilst increasing level of service to the patient. And of course, in many other areas, such as we talked about, cars, towers, almost anything that moves, as we move towards an estimated 40 billion mobile connected devices before 2020. The way we think about interacting with the world, the way we think about managing physical infrastructure as virtual infrastructure will change dramatically in terms of not only the ways we manage them, but the way business models can be developed around them. So, heading over the next few years to $5 trillion of IT spend. A lot of that on the front line will be massively influenced and driven by mobility. From the IT systems it will create, the transformations that it's causing in core enterprise IT and the movement to capacity in the cloud, to the need to assure and ensure the experiences of these massively distributed client computing systems, to the fundamental need to drive trust in those systems through highly advanced security. And you know, the amazing thing is we and the industry are just at the beginning of the ability to innovate, the ability to drive new companies, new organizations, and massive transformation as we go through this, I think is unprecedented. Anyway, been great to speak with you. I think if you click to that last chart, that question at the beginning, you know, are we connected? These kind of conferences make a huge difference in being connected, and I thank you all for the 20 minutes we've spent together. Thank you.